What should I do with my money? Well, there's probably not too many of you out there asking me what you should do with your money. But I'm going to answer anyway because you're safe and don't need to be afraid that my solution or answer is going to be given to me. Rather, I'm going to suggest that you do the following set of things. One, if you are a believer, what you should do with your money is you should tithe on it. That's interesting discussion within the evangelical church, whether this is Old Testament only or New Testament or gross or net or minimum or whatever. I think a lot of our conversation exists in order to avoid the simple, straightforward truth that, yes, we're supposed to do this. It's not complicated. If you do net instead of gross, I'm not going to fuss at you. I'm not going to fuss at you anyway, but the point is, that's not the point. The point is, are you able to give back to God 10%? One of the reasons this is so important is not just because of the things that are financed by tithes, but because of what it says to you, about your circumstance. The giving of the tithe is a way to teach us to not live on the margins, to teach us to be grateful for the things that we have. It's a saying to God, hey, you know what? I don't need all this. It's freeing. It makes for a cheerful giver. So I'm going to start there. I think that's a very important thing to do, and I think you'll be very happy. I've been around many, many years, and I've never met someone who ever said, I wish I hadn't tithed. I've met many who said, I wish I had. Secondly, you should provide for those under your care. And providing for those under your care is your responsibility. And it's a glorious thing to do. It's a great thing to do. It's a fulfilling thing to do. If you are the man of your house and you're providing for your house, this is like front and center of what it means to live a good life. Go look up Psalm 128 if you don't believe me. This is a profound blessing. Now, you may feel a burden. You may feel underappreciated. You may feel like, I wish I could spend this money on myself. And those are attitudes you need to change. But doing this work is a good thing. Then what should you do? What if you're paying your tithe? What if you're providing for your family? They have everything that they need and there's still money left over. What should you do with it? Well, now, here's my advice. Whatever you want. Do whatever you want with it. It's yours. Yes, God gave it to you to steward. Absolutely right. It's still ultimately His. Everything's ultimately His. When we give the tithe, we're not saying 10% is yours. We're saying 100% is yours. And this is a sign and a symbol of that 100%. But when you give that 10% and you have that left over, and God says, I want you to do with this what you want, feel free. I've blessed you with this. If that means that you want a restored 67 Camaro, get yourself a restored 67 Camaro. If that means you want to go on a trip to Israel, go on a trip to Israel. You're free. You're absolutely free. Now, what if you're not a believer? What should you do with your money? Well, here's what I would suggest you do. I would suggest that you take some time and some energy and some money and you invest it in answering this question. What am I even here for? What's my purpose? What am I doing with my life that has any eternal meaning or value? And you might just find yourself, I don't know, at the very least, realigning your priorities. You might find yourself living for something more important than yourself. And you might find yourself realizing that life under the sun is meaningless, empty, chasing after the wind, including dying with the most toys. Hold it loosely, give thanks for it, share it freely, and enjoy what God has given you.